Hello, YTPC. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today I've got a little morsel for mental manducation ramble. But first, in my rants free hands, Morta, kind of a brandy shape, I've got some more haunted pirate ship. I'm still really not sure about this because basically what you've done is cut the Latakia from pirate cake in half. Throw in a little bit of red Virginia and Perique from the Old Joe Krantz because pirate cake's already got burley. So I suppose it sweetens pirate cake up a little bit. Mostly what I taste is still Latakia. It's not a bad thing. I happen to like it. Wisdom. Where do you go for it? As a Christian, you all know, or should suspect, the first place I turn is going to be the Bible. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. I'm not here to preach. What does that look like practically? Where do I turn? Civilization has been around for thousands of years. Some things work, some things don't. Will Durant and his wife, brilliant historians, philosophers, wrote, human habits change. Human nature never does. If we look at history, I think they're right. They also wrote, I'll read this to get the quote correct. Out of every 100 new ideas, 99 or more will probably be inferior to the traditional responses which they aim to replace. That was from observing changes that had been introduced into societies. Looking back over history, very few of them were ever actually improvements. Very few. The exceptions we remember because they led to large jumps, what we think of as jumps forward in civilization. They also wrote that it's important to listen to new ideas just because occasionally one will turn out to be a good one. But that it's also very important before implementing a new idea to test it thoroughly. Examine it. Make sure it actually is an improvement, not just a new idea. And as with many things that we see right now, make sure it's not just an old idea that's been repackaged to make it look new. So I look to wisdom. I look for wisdom to previous generations. What brought this on? Well, with regards to whether a certain thing should or should not be done. I heard it said, but no one in my generation does that. So you look for wisdom on whether or not you should do something to a generation that doesn't know what its own genitals mean. Okay. Me? I'd rather look to the generations that won 2 world wars. I'd rather look to the generations that got us to the moon. Those are the generations I would look to, not my own. Certainly not the one that's coming up. I would look to people who have actually lived some life, particularly lived more of it than I have. What do they think about it? What do they think I should do? Should I do that? Should I not do it? Their opinion probably has more behind it than mine does. Should carry some weight. Doesn't mean they're right all the time, no. No, of course not. But I should at least very seriously consider what it is that they have to say about a subject before I toss it out as just being old-fashioned or tradition based on, something archaic. Does it really work? Does it really describe the way the world around me works? Just a little something to think about. Where do you get your wisdom? I can tell you this. I'm not getting mine from a generation that doesn't know which bathroom to use. With that, light something you like. Maybe make a little monster mash like this. See if you like it. Enjoy your afternoon.